there, Alex here. This is the OnePlus Ace, also known as the 10R outside of China, and since the phone I have here is already running the 10R's firmware, it's basically a 10R. But calling it the 10R feels a little off, since this is quite a departure from its predecessor, the OnePlus 9R, and actually the entire OnePlus lineup. There is no alert slider here, the design is now flatter, and it's a fully plastic body instead of metal and glass, so I can see some folks not liking these changes. But that said, I actually think it looks pretty good, and the plastic body doesn't feel too flimsy or cheap. For a phone at this price range, I don't think it's a big deal as long as the other aspects of the phone can provide enough value to make up for this compromise in build materials. So let's talk about those things. Starting with the front of the phone, the display itself is not the best I've seen in terms of viewing angles or sharpness, but it's still a pretty good looking OLED screen. Decent enough brightness, 120Hz refresh rate, 360Hz touch sampling rate, an under-display fingerprint sensor, and pretty thin bezels all around. It comes with dual speakers as well, with the bottom speaker doing the heavy lifting. It's a little on the thinner and brighter side, but still sounds decent overall, so it's a pretty nice experience when it comes to media consumption. As mentioned earlier, the phone I have here is running the 10R's firmware, which is Oxygen OS 12.1. That said, it still shares the same codebase as ColorOS, so the software experience is similar to recent Oppo devices I've tried. It's quite smooth, has a bunch of nice customization options, and it comes with a lot of the same useful features that I like from ColorOS. I do feel like I've encountered a bit more bugs here compared to ColorOS, but it's mostly pretty minor stuff and nothing serious. Anyway, I can understand why some folks might prefer the older Oxygen OS, since I used to be a fan myself, but it is what it is, and I can only hope that using the same codebase can improve the speed and quality of their software updates in the future. The OnePlus 10R is using a Dimensity 8100 Max chipset, and it's great. I've seen a bunch of really positive reviews on this chipset already, and after trying it for myself, it has lived up to its reputation. When it comes to regular day-to-day stuff and less demanding games, it barely breaks a sweat. It's smooth, and the phone doesn't even warm up that much. When it comes to a very demanding game like Genshin Impact, it's able to run at highest graphics and 60 FPS for a short while, but there are still a bit of stutters every now and then, and eventually, it will start lowering the FPS a little to reduce heat like most other phones. They're probably being a bit more conservative, since even at this point, the phone actually didn't feel that hot to the touch. Anyway, drop the graphics to medium and perhaps add on a cooling fan, and the phone will be able to comfortably run at near 60 FPS. This is actually pretty impressive for a phone at this price range. It runs Genshin better than my Galaxy S21 with Snapdragon 888, and it might be better than the Oppo Find X5 Pro with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 as well, since the phone heats up so quickly that it will start throttling and lowering the FPS almost immediately. That said, compared to the Red Magic 7 Pro, which is a gaming phone with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 as well, it's not as fast or smooth. But Red Magic's approach is just to let the fiery dragon loose and not care too much about heat or battery life, which isn't ideal when I'm playing longer story quests or if I'm farming for materials or artifacts. Even with the built-in cooling fan on top of an external cooling fan running at the same time, medium graphics is as high as I could go if I want to keep the game running at 60 FPS while maintaining a comfortable temperature. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 has a higher peak performance for sure, but I don't think any phone can really take full advantage of it. Even putting aside heat, it is noticeably more power hungry compared to the Dimensity 8100 in the OnePlus 10R, especially when left unchecked like on the Red Magic. As you can see, I'm not the biggest fan of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. Personally, I like the Dimensity 8100 a lot more, especially for a mobile device with limited cooling and battery capacity. Not to mention as well that it's usually found in cheaper phones, which makes it great value for money. So I'm really hoping that we'll see more devices with this chipset for the global market. Oh yeah, I should probably mention as well that the 10R I have here supports up to 150 watt charging. It's useful for a quick top up for sure, but in terms of the charging speed from 0 to 100, it's actually just a few minutes faster compared to the Red Magic 7 Pro with 65 watt charging and a larger battery. I'm guessing they're probably trying to protect the battery lifespan. So if I had the choice, I would go for the 80 watt version instead, since it has a larger battery. Even though the version I have here already has pretty good battery life, having a bit of extra headroom doesn't hurt. When it comes to camera performance, the main camera hardware itself should be pretty decent, but I find that the processing is a little hit or miss in terms of colors, details and HDR. That said, for a phone at this price range, I think it's fine. Can't say the same for the secondary cameras though. Anyway, I'll have a link in the video description below with everything I took with the phone, so feel free to check it out if you want to. You know, at this point in time, this review might be a bit pointless since the OnePlus Ace flashed with 10Rs firmware might be the only feasible option if you're looking for a Dimensity 8100 phone with full Google support outside of India. But on the bright side, I do think that it is a pretty good phone. The build materials could be a bit better for sure when compared to its predecessors, and it is lacking things like a 3.5mm audio jack, micro SD card slot, and water resistance. But at just under 500 Singapore dollars for the base model during sales, those are not deal breakers to me, especially when the performance from this chipset is so good. And I really do mean under $500 since you don't even have to buy accessories for it. It already comes with a case, pre-applied screen protector, cable, and even a 160-watt USB-C charger in the box. So yeah, I've really enjoyed using the phone and think it's a great option if you're looking for a mid-range device with performance that punches above its price point. Thanks for watching this video, and see you guys on the next one.